Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
Hey, and what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is right over there on that side of the screen. We hope you are all having a fantastic week. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for stopping by here, right over here, to the Golden MMA Podcast, number 201 this week. D Rose, we're in the 200s. How you been over this past week, my guy?
Man, things have been great. Can't complain. The card this past weekend was a banger, was one to remember, and we had the live stream this past weekend. I had a lot of fun doing that, and it was the kind of the perfect card to do it for. So, if y'all want to see any of our reactions from this past weekend, be sure to go back and catch some of the clips from the live stream we had. But yeah, had a lot of fun. Of course, came up short on bets. Just one leg here or there. Again, the over on the Gamrot and Rebovix. I mean, you thought minus 220 was like free money for an over 2.5 and a Martinez Gamrot fight. Like, what are we talking about? But again, another story for another day, but overall, everything's great.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. On today's show, we will be recapping UFC 327 from this past weekend. We will spin what is known as the Wheel of Doom. Unfortunately, it's me this week. Anyway, we will then move into our UFC news and fight announcements, and then we will go over our UFC Canada Montaba. I don't know how to say it. It's Canada. Our Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. Our preview picks, predictions, and we'll end out the show with our pick champ, as we always do. And D Rose, I'm usually here telling you I'm getting it back this week. I'm coming for it this week. I have no confidence that I'm getting it back this week, dog. Zero confidence.
I can't blame you because looking at the card this weekend, there's nothing to have that much confidence on, to be honest.
Yeah, but we get into all of that. Let's get into the chat, see what you guys are saying. We got Austin in here with the Gratata Hombres. Happy Wednesday, brother. Appreciate you stopping by tonight, Austin. We got Dave in here asking to see D Rose's private parts for some reason.
That's just a Wednesday at this point, right?
Please tell me y'all watched the Hornets and Heat play. I did. Not only was that game good, the Portland Suns game was actually pretty good as well, Antoine. I was watching Magic Sixers over here a few minutes ago. I picked Magic to win, but they ain't looking great right now, and I don't think Philly's that good. Anyway, one of the greatest games. Oh wow, nice. Anyway, Franz Wagner. That's because they ain't playing him, Dave. He's played 9 minutes in the first 2 quarters. Don't make no sense. Yeah. Yeah, my butthole was tight the whole time, says Dave. Episode 201 was how we feeling. I'm all right, Antoine. Classic. And how do you feel about Mello Bam situation?
Melo's a little hoe. Let's just be honest. Melo's a little hoe.
But if I'm going to be honest, dog, to to be able to pull a guy out that's that big with just one arm, you're gonna, just
On
pull
one
your arm
foot,
back.
who's in the air.
Nah, dog, he was on 2 feet. I was just
He's falling back.
not the best situation, but at the same time, like, it's like, why'd you do that? At the same time, like, what? Like, it was just a dumb move. Like, it is what it is. I don't know why he did that. And then Antoine asking David about deers. He straight heel picked him, Tony Ferguson style, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with a guy as big as Bam, when his body weight is carrying him that way, all it takes is a little ankle pick, and all his body weight is going to take him right down. To me, I was surprised.
That's what you get for getting a fake 83.
That's for Kobe, ho. We out here redeeming Kobe still.
Right. That's what Mellow Ball was setting Kobe free. Anyway, I got an 8-pointer on the wall, says Dave. That's what's up. Yeah, the league reviewing it. Charlotte make the playoffs. It's gonna look really bad. And I'm glad Miami didn't win anyway, because if they did, then it's like Miami without Bam, like, not too great, So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that is NBA. Let's get into the fights from this past weekend with our UFC 327 recap. Dear host, I'm still sad. I was gonna come here with half my face covered with my hair, dog, with some eyeliner on, but like, I'm an emo now because of this past weekend, dog. I'm gonna be honest. Until today, dog, I was like, man, anytime. And still, dog, fuck Carlos Holberg. Like, him getting on Ariel, like fucking hell on the Taiwanese fucking show, like, and be like, nah, he didn't show mercy. Like fucking this, that. And like, bro, are you kidding me? Like, he backed up. Like, he looked down at your foot, pointed at it, and then backed up. Like, come on, man. Anyway, let's get into the fights from this past weekend. We got Chuck Buffalo Radke defeats Francisco Prado via decision, as me and you both expected. One that I did not expect was Vicente Luque to drop and then submit Kelvin Gastelum in round 1. So shitted on all my bets early, dog. So I did chase, and I'll let you know what it ended, what that guy ended by in just one moment. But I guess D Rose was on Vicente Luque via decision. But what's your thoughts on the outcome of the fight, man?
Yeah, no, I was watching the fight. I was able to. I kind of snuck away for a second at work and was able to kind of hide out and watch it. And I thought that, I really thought that, Luque still looked a little hesitant, and that's just, I think that's just going to be what it is at this point for Luque in his career. And if he gets any young up and comers, I will say I think Luque's, he's going to have a tough time. And I think even somebody who's like a good kind of counter or kind of like a pressure fighter puncher, they're going to give Luque a problem. But for this fight specifically, Gastelum didn't have the speed advantage, and Vicente Luque was the bigger dude. I mean, obviously Gastelum is the chunkier dude, but Vicente Luque had the reach and the speed, and I really thought that was a big advantage for him. And that was that nice little slip, kind of that left hand and the uppercut to come underneath to drop Gastelum. And as soon as he started locking in that Dars, I looked at myself because I actually bet Vicente Luque straight, and I think that was the only bet I hit from Saturday, which is the sad part. But as soon as he started locking in the Dars, I said, man, I should have bet him by submission, because I knew right there and then, once he started locking in that Dars, dude, he's got one of the meanest Darses in the game, man. So shout out to Vicente Luque. And I think they said he's like 5th on the all-time UFC's finish list. I think it was 4th or 5th with like 15. So, dude, shout out to Vicente Luque.
With Matt Brown, I think, at welterweight, but this is at middleweight. That's what fucking
right. Yeah, but I think just in general, the knockout list, I think he's 5th.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, moving on to another one that messed me up, dog, was Chris Padilla, Markel Medeiros, because Bruce Buffer announced Chris Padilla wins the decision by majority decision. Dog, it was not right after the fight. Like, a fight later, 2 fights later, John Anning pops on the TV and gives us the actual scorecards. Apparently, 2 of the judges scored it a draw, so this was a draw. So, yeah, heard some shit about this fight, man. So apparently, D-Rose, these prediction markets nowadays are letting you like bet all the way until the decision's read out, right? So I saw where like a person like after the fight was over put $500 on Markel Madero's like the win after the fight was over, but his like I guess price like how it works is like by like I don't know how to explain it, by like a penny, like $1. So his like price is a penny. After the fight got corrected, and it ends up being a draw, they pay everything back out 50-50 both sides. So a guy paid $500, bought $500 worth of pennies, and then now each one of those pennies is worth 50 cents. So he got paid back like a shit ton of money back for just picking Markel Maderos after the fight was over, dog. So I suspect they'll probably change these prediction markets here soon to where, they'll probably cut it off once there's like, 20 seconds, 30 seconds in the fight like actual sports books do. But yeah, some people cashed out on that, man. And I was not the one because I had Chris Padilla via decision. It was green. It changed to a red X. What's your thoughts on Padilla, Markel Maderos, and then Bruce Buffer? Apparently, like at his old age, losing.
Well, no. So so I did listen to I believe it was John Anik had said after the fact that it was not on Bruce Buffer. He was actually handed the so they had written out on the scorecard that Padilla was the winner. So it said that I guess it's on the top right corner of the card that's read out. So the judges counted out.
They have a paper one and like if they're writing on, and then they just like submit an electronic scorecard.
Right, but and what he's reading is what it apparently they said the card has the winner listed at the top right corner of the card that he's reading, and apparently it said Padilla was the winner, and I guess even though the scores are calculated one way, that's when Bruce Buffer he basically read the card that was given to him, so this was not on him from everything that I.
The two of the past 3 weeks is kind of eyebrow raising. Like, what's going on, man? Like, is it the judges changing their scores after? Like, is it quote unquote Vegas? The right person not winning. Like, what's happening here? Because people are losing money, dog. Like, that shit was green and then it turned red.
See, because aren't they supposed to submit their score at the end of each round? Like,
I don't know, dog.
Round 1, they submit their score for the round. But I mean, either way, it's. I thought Taco won regardless. But yeah, I mean, it was a good fight. Marco Maderas definitely showed some grit, and I thought he actually won the. He would have won the 3rd round if it wasn't for the eye poke. But at the end of the day, good fight. But yeah, I thought Padilla definitely won.
Dog, after this fight, I was hesitant the rest of the night. I was like, I don't know how much money I'm going to be betting because that one, right after the Vicente Luque fight, because I bet Kelvin Gastelum money line, chased with this one. Taco, well, like I had a few in, already still with Taco via decision, but then in those end up losing. So moving on to the regular prelims, we got Tatiana Suarez submitting Lupe Godinez in the 2nd round, dude. I bet Tatiana Suarez money line minus 140. Great price. The best price we're going to get on her probably ever at this point. And yeah, dog, I have her via decision in a few parlays, and it burned me because she submitted Lupe in round number 2. The first time anyone's ever submitted Lupe or ever finished Lupe. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, Tatiana Suarez showed that she's back. I mean, she did end up getting. I know she got cracked in the 1st round, but I think being able to show that resolve, and I think it just kind of speaks to her and her life obstacles that she's overcame in general. Her being a cancer survivor, and I loved her post fight speech where she had talked about her brother who, he was a once cancer survivor, ended up succumbing to cancer, and how she dedicated the fight to him. And she definitely fought like it, man. Like she definitely fought like she had a chip on her shoulder. She was gritty. And then her just be able to just get the wrestling and the control and just kind of implement her game and being able to actually go in there and go for the finish against someone who, I thought Loopy for sure wasn't, if there was someone who I could bet that would not get finished, it would be Loopy. And for Tatiana to do that, man, it just shows that she's on a top level right now. And I mean, if Wei Lee doesn't come back, I mean,
Dog,
Tatiana
we got to talk about
Byrne,
that right after this, dog. Do y'all think she'll be champion? Now she's at her life in 34. So like what you just now said, Tatiana like fucking versus Dern. I would take that. I would take fucking Tatiana 9.5 times out of 10, dog, because wrestling beats jiu-jitsu. It just does. You end up on top, control more time. Is it, highly entertaining? No, but it just wins. That's honestly just the way it is. And on the Wei Lee point, I thought the press conference the other day, someone asked about Wei Lee, and then Dana looked over and the person said no, and he says, "Don't announce it." And they said no, but then like Dana said, expect Macau. Dude, Macau's in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's
So if we're expecting Wei Lee at Macau, China in 6 weeks, we have no title fight announcement like for 115. That tells me she's probably staying up at 125, and it's just a 3-round fight, because the 5-round main event for that is already what, Song versus Figgy, right?
Is that who it is? Is that the main?
I think that's the main in a few weeks. Here, let's see. Song versus Figueroa, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's
so that's the main. But if Wei Lee is going to be on the card, then you'd think like she'd at least be co-main, and if it's for a title, then it'd be main. So that tells me, dog, that she's staying up at 125, and she's probably, just fighting for a title next there.
If Tatiana fights Dern, I'm 100% taking Tatiana.
Yeah,
like, no doubt in my mind. And I mean, honestly, like you said, her being that -1, a -1 in front of her number, you ain't getting that. Yeah, you ain't getting that again. Kiss that goodbye.
Yeah. I don't, dude. Do you think Wei Lee stays up at 125, man?
I mean, I guess at this point at 115, is there much for her to do? She's a 2-time champ. I guess, I would say, I guess legacy wise, she has more to chase at 125, but I mean, I guess I don't necessarily see the reason why she would need to stay at 125. I mean, honestly, she doesn't really fight. She's not active enough to
fight. There's no contenders at 115.
I wouldn't want to throw her back at 115 and then all of a sudden she's back to fighting, once a year again, and then 115 stagnant, and you're not getting any real contenders because you're only going to get one fight a year, and then it kind of halts the division. Where I think Dern is somebody who you could probably turn around. I'm not going to say you can turn around all the time, but Dern does seem to be game to kind of turn around fairly quickly if need be. So I think for right now, I would like to see if Wei Lee would stay at 125 just to kind of keep the division with fresh matchups, but we'll see ultimately.
Yeah. Moving on up, another one that burned my bets was Mateusz Gamrot round 2 submission over Esteban Ribovics. This is one that I had to go over 2.5. I also had Esteban moneyline, Esteban via knockout, Esteban via decision. None of which hit because Mateusz Gamrot wins a second round rear naked choke, dude, and Esteban was, dog, he was ready to tap. Like, I have never seen Mateusz Gamrot, even go for a finish. And he gets one here against someone that's tough as nails, someone that we don't see really get finished. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, now I'll say Mateusz Gamrot, he did in like his early UFC run, he had actually had like 3 or 4 finishes in a row. I think he subbed Jeremy Stevens. He knocked out Scott Holtzman. So he had some finishes, but it had been a while. Carlos Diego Ferreira, he ended up finishing him as well with those weird knees to the body and ended up like breaking his ribs or whatever. But as of late, we know Gamrot to be he can take the fight long, and for him to get the finish like that, you know, I like Esteban Ribovics. He's a fun fighter, and you know me, I love me some Esteban Ribovics as far as like the action fighter, but just in terms of being able to kind of put it all together. I mean, if he got out wrestled by Loic Radzhabov, the way he did, for Gamrot, especially Gamrot coming off a loss, he's going to be hungry. He got finished for the first time in his career against Charles Oliveira, so I kind of knew he was going to come back a little bit hungry. So, coming back against Ribovics, I thought it was a good matchup.
That's fair, man. Moving on up to the one that saved me from getting clean swept on the pick champ this week was Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. And talk about Darce chokes, D-Rose. You're talking about Vicente Luque having one of the best Darce chokes in the UFC. I got to put Kevin Holland up there too, dude. And he had Randy Brown in one of the deepest chokes possible, dude. Randy Brown got out. His legs are out. Kevin Holland regathered the legs. At that point, I stood up. I was like, oh, it's over. It's over. Randy Brown ends up getting out of that again. But from that point on was absolutely fast. Nothing left in the tank. Kevin Holland just kind of teeing off on him on the feet. And, yeah, Kevin Holland wins the fight via decision. Saved me from getting swept on the pick champ this week, so I'm happy about that. Glad Kev got a win. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, locked in Holland is a different Kevin Holland. I mean, he didn't go out there and kind of get into a little bit of a war. Yeah, and I will say, like, Randy Brown kind of came out with some piss and vinegar, dude. Like he came out like looking to throw some heat, and he was landing some big shots, and he cut Kevin Holland early. Was kind of lumping him up a little bit, and Kevin Holland was even, he had went for a shot, at one point, tried to get some wrestling in, and he did he did his thing. But I will say, Kevin Holland did seem more locked in. Just being able to kind of, fight to a game plan, use multiple facets of his game and still not get overwhelmed, as far as like trying to make a big moment like he did against Stephen Thompson or anything like that. He's just kind of going out there and fighting with the flow. And it was a good performance for Kevin Holland. It was actually a pretty fun fight. And yeah, Randy Brown brought it too, but good performance from Kevin Holland.
Yeah, man, I agree. Moving on up to the next one, we got Aaron Pico, Patricio Pit Bulldog. Aaron Pico wins via decision. That's what I predicted. I guess he showed he has a little bit of a chin, dude, but Pitbull was cracking him, and he didn't look great. During the fight, one thing that I took away is Aaron Pico's got some very fast hands. On the other hand, Patricio Pitbull does not move his head at all, dog. Just Aaron Pico, just teeing off on Pitbull, just head just right there in the center. Just wham, dude, not moving his head at all. He's man, tough, Aaron Pico wins via decision. Thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, Pitbull's tough, and like I told you, I think if this fight happened 5 years ago, I would 100% pick Pitbull, because in that first round, you can see like Pico does this mind game stuff with himself where he tries to get so locked in on like focusing to where like sometimes he becomes a little bit hesitant. And Pitbull was kind of peppering him up with some jabs there in the first round, and even kind of cracked him with a couple of 1-2s as well. And honestly, I was like, man, if the fight keeps going like this, it's not gonna look too good for Pico. But in second round, Pico got locked in. And dude, when his boxing gets flowing, dude, he's got some of the cleanest boxing, kind of snapping those uppercuts in there the way he did, and the body shots, dude. His body shots, man, he had somebody backed up against the fence and he's just ripping them to the ribs. Like, dude, it's some of the cleanest boxing that I've ever seen in MMA, dude. He's fun to watch, and I am glad that Pico was able to get a bounce back win. It was a good fight. I mean, are we going to talk about this fight after this? Probably not, but good performance from Pico, and way to get on the in the W in the UFC.
Yeah, moving on to the next one. One that I had no money on, dog, was Cub Swanson, Nate Landwehr. I'm glad Cub got a dub in his retirement fight. But man, it looked like somebody paid fucking Nate Landwehr to just fucking go out there and not throw a punch, dog. That's what it looked like. He just got out there and got toasted. I know during the fight, I remember this exactly. I said, he's not Darren Elkins, but he kind of looked like it. He kind of looked like it out there, dog. I don't know if he threw – dude, I don't know if he landed one punch against Cup. Thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean it is why I ultimately picked Cub Swanson, because I knew he would have the speed advantage.
He landed 15 strikes. 15 strikes.
Well, because Cub did have he had a little knot under his eye after the fight, so it looked like something landed from Nate Landwehr, but I just didn't think anything was going to deter Cub Swanson. And I thought he was going to have the speed advantage. Cub Swanson acknowledged even after the fight that the later the fight gets, the tougher Nate Landwehr gets. So he knew that if he was going to have to get him out of there, he knew he would have to get him out of there early. So he said once he got him hurt, he knew he was going to have to stay on him to make sure he got him finished. And Cub Swanson, if there's one thing that I've never questioned about the dude, is his killer instinct. When he's always had somebody on the ropes, he always goes in for the kill. And sad to see him go, but what a way to go out for Cub Swanson. Getting a knockout, in front of the president who's talking to his wife over there, and in front of his wife and kids and everything, and just just a surreal moment for him to kind of go out on top like that.
Yeah. Will they cut Nate, or will he turn into Nico Price? Probably. I mean, I could see them cutting Nate.
I mean, it really depends on how many fights he's got left. If he's got a bunch of fights, then he'll probably still be here for a while. But I think if he's limited on fights, he might fight out his contract, and I can see him walking.
Yeah. Now let's say your favorite Cub memory. Man, off the top of my head, it's
obviously
tough.
the
tough.
I mean, the Doo Ho Choi one is obviously the biggest one. I remember for me, I don't know why I like vividly remember the Daniel Pineda fight. They fought in the Apex, but I just remember for some reason I thought that like Daniel Pineda was going to go in there and sub him, because I believe Cub Swanson was coming off a few losses at that point, and he ended up going in there and he ended up crushing Daniel Pineda and getting a big knockout, and kind of stood over him and howled. And for some reason, I just remember getting excited too, because I was like, hell yeah, that was nice. And weirdly enough, like, how did Cub Swanson make Chrome Gracie have a fun fight? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I don't know if anybody remember that fight, but that was a banger. Chrome Gracie was in there doing the foot stomps, but he was actually throwing punches. And him and Cub Swanson, they swung it out and went to a decision in and also another fun fight.
Yeah, man. So let's move on up to the one that burned everyone and their mom. The reason why I no longer own a house and I live in an apartment, because I put it all on Dom Reyes, Johnny Walker under 1.5. And Dom Reyes and Johnny Walker now, laughing it up at the steakhouse all week, eating steaks all night because they can afford it, because they bet themselves to go to the city. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this fight had to
I'm
happen.
mad just thinking about it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, that's really about all I got, man. I ain't gonna much at all.
What?
I mean, this fight was that
after
bad.
this weekend, dude. After this weekend, dude, I almost kind of feel like you. Like, man, I ain't even putting 5 on it unless I think there might be a finish. Like, I ain't parlaying nothing no more. I'm just straight betting. Like,
dude,
I feel like D Rose betting. Like, man,
honestly, every single time I tell you I straight bet something, I end up hitting it, and then I parlay something and I don't. But in regards to this fight, yeah, just one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Top 3 for worst fights of the year right now, and
yeah. Moving on to top 1 for best fights of the year. 3, and it's not 2 or 3. We got Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett, dude. Josh Hokett wins via decision in an all-out war, dude. Josh Hokett came in there and slang his dick. Curtis Blades slang his dick. They were swinging dicks at each other Both fighters got knocked down, rocked, but Josh Hockett ends up being the victor dog. I know we were giving him shit earlier in the week about his persona, pick one, so on and so forth. But dog, he's still new. He's just throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks at this point. That's my opinion. He's probably going to find one and probably stick to it. If not, at worst, people talk about him. People know who he is, and they know now that he's a great fighter. Thoughts on Josh Hockett versus Curtis Blades at the White House after this fight right here?
Yeah, well, and my whole thing last week, and I even said it that hey, the sport needs characters, to kind of get you actually excited for a fight, I made another point with Hockett with Tommy McMillan where so many people were like so agitated with him, and I'm like, I mean, he's just like a bro dude to me to a certain extent. Like I don't see what's so wrong with him, and not that I necessarily thought anything was wrong with Hockett, but again, for me, I just thought it was weird the multiple personality thing. So I just thought that part was kind of weird, but I never really thought it was a bad thing because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's getting the attention, and going into the fight, we were cheering for Curtis Blades because I had a bet on Curtis Blades in my parlay, and of course the last leg of my parlay that I needed and ended up not hitting, but that's just how my parlays have been going. But Josh Hockett went out there and he stood on it, and I know some people were saying, hey, he played possum, he wasn't really tired, but dude, in that first round, you cannot tell me he was not. Yeah. Well, I know, and you weren't the only one who had like. There's been multiple people who have said like, no, he's playing possum. At the end of that first round, when he's trying to put up the middle finger and he's got like two fingers up at the same time as like, trying to do the middle finger, dude, he's exhausted. And, he was 100% exhausted. But to his credit, went in that reserve tank in the second round and kind of really put it on, because even though he rocked Curtis a couple times in the first round, Curtis did come back and had a storm himself after Josh Hockett kind of emptied the load, and I thought Curtis won the first round, and then I really thought Josh Hockett just did his thing. It was a barn burner back and forth, but he was able to do more ultimately and more damage on Curtis over the fight. And really put it on Curtis there to kind of seal the deal and win the fight. And what you said was top 2 fight of the year, and it's not 2.
Yeah, man, it's what a barn burn that was. Co-main event of the evening. Paulo Costa.
Josh Hockett. So real quick, the White House. For him to get the White House fight. So one thing I want to say too is for Josh Hockett, he was going through the whole week. He's doing the persona of the fight week thing, and that's cool. And he's done previous interviews with other people where he also stayed in character, and that's fine. You did your interview with Ariel Helwani this week, and you break character, and you're talking like, what are you doing, dude?
The fight week, like behind the scenes, fucking last week, like you saw him break.
Yeah.
Like also if I can break character a few times, like I think like it was like fight after weigh-ins, like he was like, oh yeah, and then he fucking took like sorry about that, guys, and then just fucking got up and like just fucking walked away. Like I think that's hilarious.
And some of the people I heard on the one where he did the behind the scenes thing or whatever, I heard the people in the background laughing when he apologized. So it was funny, but even that's funny. But you end up doing an interview with Ariel Helwani and you're just talking like you're a regular dude. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you got to keep the character up now. You know what I mean? But I get it though. He wants to let his hair down a little bit. As no fight. But I was surprised to hear him not do anything in character because now I'm just so used to seeing him in character.
I think everybody like he was like probably doing that to get everyone to know who he was. After that fight, I think he now knows people know who he is.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right. And what's your on the Delu fight?
It's good matchmaking. If Josh Hokett, as long as he can get turned around, I'm not gonna lie. I looked up Derek Lewis's fights because I was like, when was the last time he fought? If you
It was
put a
against
gun to my
Waldo.
head, if you put a
It was
gun to
against
my head, I could not
Waldo.
have told you that.
In January, when I came there and we watched the fight.
I know, and that's why I'm sitting here, and I'm like, you could have put a gun to my head, and I would have never told you that he fought Waldo. That fight has been erased from my mind. So when I saw that Derek Lewis got knocked out by Waldo in his last fight, I was like, damn.
I was
And
sitting
then
right
he
beside you
turned
when it
around.
happened.
Yeah.
Like I remember the exact words was, "Did he just get knocked down by a jab?" I just asked you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad, man.
Yeah.
It's
So
a good matchup for Hogan. Plus the wrestling too.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree. We'll see. Paulo Costa, Azamat, Mirzakhanov, dude. Last week, man, I was on Paulo Costa. I didn't pick Paulo Costa though. I should have, man. I should have picked Paulo Costa because even fucking last week, I was like, man, Paulo via decision is this big number. He's got better work, better footwork. What if Azamat can't, track him down? And dog, I don't want to say that's what happened, but Paulo got good footwork, skating around the outside, just blasting head kicks. Azamat wins round 1, possibly drops round 2, was maybe saving up his cardio for round 3. But in round 3, Paulo just threw 3-4 head kicks in a row, maybe broke Azamat's wrist, but then Azamat just stopped putting his arm up and then just ate it to the head, fell down. Paulo Costa wins via third round knockout. I'm glad I didn't bet Paulo Costa via decision because I would have lost it too because he wins via third round knockout. Shout out Paulo Costa, man. I think Paulo could do decent at light heavyweight, man, but it seems like he wants to go back down to 185. But on that one,
well, here's a good thing for Paulo Costa now is that he's really got options, because for this performance, him coming in and I like that Dana White gave him some praise because he said after the fight, Azamat's 16-0, a guy who not a lot of people were wanting to fight. He had a lot of knockouts against some good light heavyweights leading up to this point. He had and the way he put out Alexander Rakic in his last fight. And you look how big Alexander Rakic is compared to Azamat, and Azamat did that with ease. You thought that Paulo was going to potentially have a rough time, but Paulo did. In that second round, like you said, I thought he was getting his win. I thought part of it was I thought Azamat was very effective with those body shots that he was landing himself. To where Paulo was using a lot of footwork in the first round, snapping them body kicks. And dude, those body kicks were so freaking loud. Like Paulo Costa was just slapping them on Azamat's stomach. But Azamat started doing the body work against Paulo in the second round and really slowed him down. But once he just kept flicking those head kicks, ultimately ended up hurting Azamat and putting him out. And that was the recipe. And yeah, I like where Paulo's at right now because, like you said, he's talking about going back down to 185, but I think he's ranked number 6 or 7 in light heavyweight right now. So yeah, dude's gonna have options on what he wants to do next.
yeah, Azamat was ranked 6, and they put fucking Paulo Costa at number 7, light heavyweight, dog.
No, I think
Like,
Alex
what?
Pereira is still technically ranked in there, but when he fights at heavyweight, I'm sure they'll probably end up taking him out of the rankings.
Yeah,
Especially if he wins the title.
I'm like, man, they should have put Paulo up there, top 5, dog. Dude, Paulo versus Khalil would be a good fight, man.
Like I said Saturday, dude, there could be a chance he could sneak his way into an interim or vacant title shot. I mean, dude,
I agree.
If you look at everybody up at the top of light heavyweight right now, and we'll go over it, but Alex Pereira leaving, Magomed Ankalaev coming off a loss, Khalil coming off a loss,
And no one wants to see
coming
him.
off a loss. Geary coming off a loss. Like literally everybody is coming off a loss right now. So, I mean, it could literally serve up Paulo Costa to be served up right into a title fight. So I think
I agree.
While I think a Khalil fight would be awesome, Paulo could be looking past Khalil at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Main event, D-Rose, I'm gonna let you break this down because if I talk about this, I'm gonna cry, man.
Yeah, man. And well, so from my perspective, obviously, I'm happy for Carlos Ulberg because I like Ulberg and the moment that it was, but sad for Yuri because I did want to see him win, but man, just crazy to see, as the fight's starting, Ulberg is, he's kind of looking for that check left hook, and he goes to kind of plant and kind of swing it, and when he does, it looks like his right leg, because he's standing in the orthodox position, his right leg kind of gives a little bit and he falls, and that was good on you to kind of catch that live and was saying, like something's wrong, like, it's not just, just a leg kick, like that was, he got hurt or something. And I think we were thinking like it might have been his Achilles or his ankle or anything like that, but to see Ulberg basically on one leg, it was tough. And Yuri does when he notices Ulberg hurts his leg, he does a step back and point down, and I'm like, Yuri, you kind of, but then afterwards he started leg kicking him. So that's when, on the live stream, I questioned, I'm like, so are you going to let him fight or are you going to try to leg kick him and take him out? Like, make up your mind. And I think ultimately, he did get a little bit more hesitant because it was almost like he didn't want to attack
he
the
was
leg.
like fucking fall in his head, like, do I kick his leg or do I not kick his leg?
It looked like he didn't want to try to kick his leg anymore, but Yuri was going for a punch, as Ulberg was able to land the shot, but
he stopped grabbing the left hand as he fucking came in, dude.
Yeah, well,
that was
the
his
crazy
mistake,
part was
he was grabbing it to fucking start the fight, and then he stopped grabbing it. Got smoked.
Well, the crazy part was, as we're watching the fight live, like I'm literally sitting there looking at Ulberg, and I'm going, "Damn, Ulberg, damn," because I'm like, I can literally see Ulberg like just falling back. He could barely keep his balance, and Yuri's basically like doing kind of like the stalking thing at that point, and then he just throws the Hail Mary check hook and lands it. And when I saw Yuri fall and his hands were by his side, I was like, yeah, this is over, because Carlos Ulberg, dude, that check left hook, I know we talked about Alex, but Carlos Ulberg's check left hook, it might be the meanest in the game. I mean, I know Alex Pereira's is nasty too. They can go pound for pound with one another. Let's say that with left hooks, because it was his money shot. It was really his only opportunity in my eyes to win the fight, because it was Yuri's fight to lose. It was Yuri's fight to lose. He could have just picked at Carlos Ulberg's leg, and he could have just leg kicked him basically the rest of the fight, and Carlos Ulberg wouldn't be able to wouldn't be able to have stood up, and he would have had to have either rushed him. Ref could have stopped the fight. Anything could have happened. So yeah, Yuri had an opportunity in front of him and ultimately lost it. But what a Hail Mary from Carlos Ulberg to land that and to become the champ off of it too.
Dude, I think I hate Carlos Ulberg now for the way that he's acting this week in his interviews. Like, he's like acting like that Yuri didn't let up when he noticed he was hurt.
He said he went back and watched the fight. He said in the fight, I guess, like post fight, whatever, he was like, well, okay, maybe he did. And then he said when he went back and watched the fight, he said Yuri did the point down thing, but he was like, other than that, he said Yuri was still trying to land punches on him and like still trying to hurt him. And ultimately he was trying to do so, but especially with the leg kicks too, I thought there was more that Yuri could have done initially.
There was something.
There was
something that happened, like the Yuri, like where he's fucking trying to fight Carlos Ulberg, and it's almost like fucking Yuri didn't want to win the championship, beating a injured Carlos Ulberg. So he was kind of like trying to like will himself through that. Like, fuck, I didn't want this to happen. Like it. My analogy for it is this: it's almost like Yuri and fucking Carlos both had swords, right? They clashed swords. Fucking Carlos' fucking sword broke. And like, so Yuri, instead of going for the kill, looked at his sword, threw it down, and said, "All right, let's kind of make this a fair fight." And it's like those brain processes during the fight is what got him fucked up, dog. Like, this is a fight. You can't be thinking about that other shit during the fight. And I feel like he is eerie as a person. He kind of tapped into him, like, is this right? Should I do that? And that's the wrong time to be thinking about that shit during the fights. Yuri gets knocked out round one, man. Unfortunately, my favorite fighter is knocked out. Sad about it too, because man, that fight, that was his fight, man. That was his fight.
It was his fight, and the unfortunate part, took the loss. Oberg might be out for a while, but I think with Yuri having,
that's what happens when you Yuri, dog. That's what happens. Yeah, it's not destiny.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, and you realize in the live stream, the rest of the fights that I put any sort of bet on, that bet lost. Like, so I did Osmont, what I do, Osmont round 2-3 KO. I did Yuri round 3 KO. I did Curtis Blade. I had Curtis Blades. So yeah, literally every fight, the last 3 fights, I had some sort of bet on each fight and lost each one. Terrible.
Yeah. Antoine, I ain't even clicking that because that kind of makes me mad. So I'm not going to click. Anyway, let's move on to what we like to call the Wheel of Doom. For some reason, I am.
It's back. The pig champ is back, baby.
Dude, I cannot get this thing that.
We told y'all we was bringing it back.
You gonna have it this week? Yeah.
I mean, we'll keep it over here too.
All right.
And like you said, your boy Kevin Holland. That close.
Oof.
On a fiver.
Save me.
You is that close on a fiver. Did we do anything different for the pay-per-view? I mean, I know, but I'm like, damn, if he gets swept on a pay-per-view, that's
don't act like I ain't fucking done it to your ass before. You try to act like, oh, that's bad, like I ain't done it to you. You're like, oh, that'd be bad.
Man, White Rain,
yeah, but yeah, Wheel of Doom. Here we go, D Rose.
Let's go. Let's get you a little fire, man. Let's get you a little man.
No, dude, you had the second hottest one last week. How was it?
Yeah, let's get you
last week, dog.
Let's get you a nice little cayenne. I think that'd be good.
Cayenne. That's midway, dog. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I prefer maybe like sriracha.
No, yeah. See, I'm not even trying to get you to take it all the way because that habanero.
We got Lux. What's going on, man?
Let's go.
Dave says old man.
Nah, Dave, I'm telling you, them things are a lot hotter than you think. And if Matt is one, like he said, that can't handle heat, dude, I'm telling you, if he gets that habanero, he gonna be hurting for a little bit.
All right. So without any further ado, let's get the music on. Inside this bag right here, we have Mega Sours and Bean Boozled Fiery 5. So I'm going to spin this Wheel of Doom, and it'll let you guys know if I eat fires or sour. Oh, it's going to be fire, dog.
Oh. Come on, man. No sriracha, bro. No sriracha. If you gotta respin it if you get sriracha.
Dog, I'm not respinning it if it gets sriracha. we live by the wheels, man. I'm respinning it, dog. All right, here we go. Oh, God. So
let's go.
Let's get the beans out, dog. Oh, man.
Let's go. Hey, well, Dave,
sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero.
If the habanero, I mean, I'm telling you, it's got some good heat to it. If he got the Carolina Reaper, boy.
Oh no, it's what they were got last week. Oh god, dog. It's the orange one. Fuck, man.
Let's see what color it is. And I left mine down here. Make sure you got the right one.
Is the right one, D-Rose?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Oh god. The bean of doom.
Let's go.
On camera, it looks darker than what it actually is. Are you sure this is the right one? Are you sure this is the right one?
It's orange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the camera, it's darker than what it looks in person, you know. So I know, I'm just trying to confirm that's the right color.
I can see the orange. Yeah, I can see the orange too. That looks perfect.
Are you sure you don't want me to change it for the other one? Are you sure you don't want me to change it?
Nah,
No.
that looks perfectly fine to me. That looks perfectly fine to me, buddy.
All right, how many seconds? What is it? 20 seconds? 10 seconds?
I ate the whole thing.
A solid 20 seconds. No, like a solid 20-second chew, like before I fucking swallow it, because I can just pop it in, chew it 3 times, and swallow it. I don't want to do that. Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, you like a solid 20-second chew? All right, 20
Yeah,
seconds.
something like that. 50, 20 seconds.
All right, good. Here we go.
I mean, because honestly, if you swallow it too soon, pause, that can mess you up too.
Holy fuck, dog. Oh my god. Oh, dude, my body immediately starts sweating, dog. What the fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you, that's
dude,
why
it's
when
so
I swallowed it wrong, dude, my
It's
throat was
so
on
hot.
fire.
Ah.
It's a
Yeah,
fire-breathing
dude.
dragon.
Ah. God damn it, dog.
Dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna be
Oh,
crying.
it's so fucking hot, dog. Oh, why would
I'm
anyone
telling
make this? Oh my god.
Dude, can you imagine the Carolina Reaper?
No, I can't because it's just hot. I have to swallow this dress. I can't.
You're
It's all in
good.
my
You're
teeth,
good. Dude, I'm telling you, if you swallow it, like your stomach starts hurting.
Oh, dude, it's so hot. Ah!
I'm telling you, your eyes are gonna be watering and everything.
My face is so hot right now. My tongue is so hot. I've already swallowed. It's gone. Why? It's gone. It's still here.
It's gone, but it left its mark. And now your guts is gonna be bubbling. What you crying for?
It's so hot.
Man, what are you crying for? He needs some milk.
Dude, the worst part is it's in my teeth. And whenever I try to get out with my tongue, it just burns,
It burns
so
your tongue.
fucking
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
Oh, this ain't cool.
Dude, I'm telling you. That's why when I bit it, and I when I'm trying to be cautious of how I'm eating hot food, yeah, I'm telling you, that's a cooker.
Do you see the glaze on my face right now, dog? I am sweating. Dude, look at my forehead, dog. Oh. Yeah. Oh, this is by far the worst thing I've ever done in my life, I think. I would rather hang out with Dave and do whatever Dave wants to do than fucking do that again.
Rather sitting around with Dave and watch.
Dude, I'm
videos all
seeing
day.
spots, dog. Like I feel like there's a green spot over here. Oh,
Dave's like, man, I got the best X videos account too, with all the dialogue.
dude, that is terrible.
Yep. And just imagine there is actually one that's hotter than that one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want no. I don't.
I
want
hope
no
that's
smoke
like
with the
I hope
Carolina
that's like I had the old bandage bean. I hope the Carolina Reaper's like that for you, dog. You just can't stop getting it. Dude, my
Yeah.
face and neck is sweating so much.
I was like, your throat burns. Dude, I'm telling you, because when I was eating mine, like I was trying to make sure.
I'm pissed off that anyone made that. Why would you make that? Like what?
Because they knew that we had the pig champ.
Does a person eat those for fun or something?
Could you eat a bag of 100?
Dave said, "No drink allowed." Yeah, fucking right. As soon as I took a bite into that, I was immediately like, something's wrong." All right. Here we go. No excuses. You always
we need to get a bag of nothing but the habaneros.
Yeah. No, we don't, D-Rose. I don't think Matt's eating a hot one. Yeah, I ate 2 of the sriracha flavored ones, but dude, I would rather eat a bag of sriracha ones before eating that again.
Yeah, I could tell
this
whenever you
hurts.
ate the sriracha when they weren't that hot because they irritated you a little bit, but not necessarily full out bothered you. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, Ron is going off at press conference right now. Yeah, I don't care what you have to say. Anyway, it's a shame he's lagging. I'm lagging. Oh no, it's probably my camera, Dave. I plugged up the good camera. I got a whole bunch of shit running on the computer right now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Honestly, just a little bit, but I honestly thought it was my connection, so I never said anything.
That's probably me. Antoine saying that Carolina Reaper will send you up to the hospital. It might. Man. It's still hot in here, D-Rose. Missing that dishwater now. I can't speak on it. I don't like to throw up, so that sucks. But also that bean that I just ate sucks too. I don't know, D-Rose.
It's the worst of both worlds, not the best of both worlds.
Would you rather eat that last week or the booger bean?
Probably that one.
I'd eat the booger bean, dog. I'd rather eat the booger bean than what I just ate.
It's a texture thing with that booger bean for me, man. So as soon as I taste it and I just get the image in my head, I'm out.
Yeah. Dave, I'd be like, never done it, Dave. Never done it. Anyway, could you eat a bag of 100 for $10,000 per bean, dog? 10,000 per bean. I'd probably just I'd just throw 10 of them like in my fucking mouth and chew them up and swallow them real quick. I'm like, give me my $1,000,000, and then or if I give me my 100,000 and then just fucking dip. I'm not eating 100 of those. No way.
I would dump the whole bag in my mouth if it
just
came
get it
down to
over
that.
with.
100%. Yeah, I would 100% dump the whole bag in my mouth and just get it over with. Let's do it.
Yeah. Like Carolina Reaper sent you to the hospital. Indeed. Matt's eyes look so primal, dog. I don't even know, like, what do you even think about at that point? Just how bad it hurts. Rhonda Ronda said her versus Gina is the biggest fight in MMA history. Dude, she's been in the WWE too much. She's just delusional. I don't think anyone cares. Ah, Dave, we can change that. You gotta be careful, Dave. Man, you're gonna end up leaning on the street, dog, because you got into the wrong stuff. Oh God, this is bad. This is bad. Dog, if I throw this up, this is going to be worse. Oh, anyway, Dave said Chelsea Chandler and beat Ronda. At this point, dog, she might.
Chelsea Chandler might be a step too far, but because Chelsea Chandler is like the perfect matchup for Ronda. But I mean, if man, what's her name? Josiane Nunes. Yeah, Josiane Nunes is 100% knocking out Ronda Rousey.
With the no neck just out there, just fucking.
Because she ain't gonna be able to head toss her. How's she gonna be able to head toss her when she can't grab her neck? Yeah, her arm's gonna go right over Josiane's. Dude, I'm telling you, her arm's gonna go right over Josiane's head, and then Josiane Nunes gonna slip in there and shoot.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, be fun. All right. I'm glad that's over, man, because not fun if I have to be honest. All right, DeRose, what's your
I don't know. I mean, I had fun.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Hopefully next week I have some fun when you got to eat that shit, dog. Because that's bad.
It made my eyes water. Like, it legit made my eyes water.
D-Rose might pass out from the pain of being.
Man, knowing that meal on the other side, yeah. Yum, yum, yum. And I'm licking my fingers after.
Oh, you're like, I'm going to be regretting it for the next few days a little bit. Be sitting on the toilet. Let me wipe my ass with $100 bills.
Damn right.
Paper cuts and all. Anyway, what's the worst pain I ever felt in my life? I think I stepped on a nail as a kid, Antoine, and that hurt pretty bad because it poked through the top of my shoe. So I looked down and I felt something and looked down and saw a nail coming through the top of my shoe. So that was not fun. I was taking apart a chicken coop. Yeah, I was fucking taking apart a fucking chicken coop, and I fucking stepped back, and I fucking felt a sharp pain, and I fucking looked down, and I saw a fucking nail poking through the top of my shoe. Well, the only way for it to get there is to go through the bottom of my shoe, through my foot, and then through the top of my shoe. Yeah, so I had to go to the hospital. I had to get some tetanus shots for that. I think I might have been like 12, 13 years old, like when that happened. What's the worst pain you ever felt, Chris?
For me, I mean, I fractured my foot once when I was, and sadly enough, it was when I was a kid. I was actually playing on a slip and slide, and I was. Dude,
you and slip and slides, y'all got history, huh?
Yeah, no, I do not. I don't mess. I don't mess with slip and slides, man. Yeah, it's like dogs, man. For some reason, I swear I just don't have good luck with people's dogs, man. So it's like, and Chubb's always been cool to me, but for the most part, like I always have bad encounters with dogs. I don't know what it is or don't know why, but and yeah, slip and slides are the same. But I went to slide on my knees, and when I did, I landed on top of my foot, and basically my foot had just like kind of bent from like basically my foot had bent in half. And it was a pretty bad fracture. I was in a boot for a couple months and everything, but I would say that was probably the most pain.
Yeah, man. It hurts as a whole lot worse getting hurt as an adult than it does as a kid. I'll tell you that. Dude, for me, I was walking in my bathroom, scraped my big toenail completely off. Ouch! That sucks, dog. That's terrible. You're Anton was like, I remember like it was yesterday. All right.
The entire nail is nuts, especially the big toe.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave. Yeah, you might want to get that checked out, Dave. Just for your own sake. I want to get that checked out. Only one time or every time? Okay. Then I got to mess up. Okay.
But Dave said for some reason my poop flows out seamlessly.
Oh my goodness. All right, dear. Let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements. I got big Marcel pulled up here. But before we get into that, what was your favorite moment from the card this past weekend, Deros?
Man.
You know what mine is, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I guess probably two, and it was probably the Blades Hockett fight. I had a lot of fun during that fight, and it was a lot of ups and downs. And again, for Hockett to maintain the character throughout the fight and still be able to do his thing, that was fun. And I mean, honestly, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I've actually went back and watched like our reaction to the knockout of the main event, and just myself, just because I'm so shocked that it happened. Because I'm like, dude,
like, I'm
my
crying
emotions
immediately. Like you just see a tear, like you just zoom in on my face, you see a tear just go down.
Yeah, you're literally sitting there like you're just like in just dismay,
Just
like you were just completely sad. And like for me, like I'm literally, I go, damn, oh, and then I just jump up and I'm like, oh, and then I get up and I'm like running in my living room because I'm like, oh my gosh, like what the hell just happened? So yeah, it was just you didn't expect it, then it did. It was just such a crazy moment because I'm literally waiting for Yuri to just knock out old Burger, kick his leg out from under him, and again, for the card to turn that quick, it was just an insane moment.
Same, man. Same. My favorite moment of the card, though, got to be our president of the United States. Like, Paulo, you're a beautiful guy. You shouldn't even be a fighter. You're so beautiful. And then Paulo fixes his hair and says, "Thank you, Mr. President." You're a beautiful guy. You shouldn't even be a fighter. You should be a male model. That's what I don't.
So weird, dude. But you know what? Hey, you get a president compliment you like that. Hey, even if it's, because
that made Paulo's life. That made Paulo's life.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, if I got a world leader sitting here telling me how handsome I am, I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Appreciate it. Good look.
D-Rose, you're a beautiful guy. You should be a male model.
You know what?
Antoine, what I'll do is, I know if I can send it like to D-Rose, I'll go get the link and I will fucking send it to you after the stream is over because I know exactly where the link is at for it. But I sent it to you and he really said that, didn't he? Yeah, Dave, I never claimed to be a Trump impersonator. That's not one of my top qualities, I would have to say. Anyway, let's get into our news and UFC fight announcements. Shout out Big Marcel for getting it done. I guess our first one, well, I guess right there. Anyway, before we get into these though, D-Rose, we had a signing. Gable Stevenson signed to the UFC. Showed him beside John Jones. You both, as soon as he was shown on the screen, me and you both kind of looked at each other and was like, is that Gable Stevenson? And then because he just looked so skinny next to John Jones, dude, it almost, to me, it looked like he's going to try to come into the UFC at like 205. He's probably not, but to me, he looked very skinny there. And the rumor is he's going to fight International Fight Week. I feel sorry for whatever Kane UFC puts up against him on International Fight Week, dog. Can you imagine what he's going to do to them?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he needs to come in at heavyweight just because it's going to be his best path to get into the title. And because if you look at,
but we can agree that he looked skinny though, right? Like he
Oh yeah,
did
no.
not
I
look
mean,
like
that was the first comment I said when I saw him the other day. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think that for his career, and you can see like how jacked he was, like other pictures, and maybe then because he was wearing like a big T-shirt, it could have been the T-shirt that was kind of covering up all the stuff that because he's normally a pretty jacked dude. Maybe it was the big T-shirt that he had on. But for me, he did look a little bit smaller. I would like to see him come in at heavyweight, but yeah, I do think Gable's going to be a problem, man. So yeah, I'm glad to see him finally make the move over to the UFC, and kind of long overdue at this point, to be honest.
I agree, man. I agree. Dave says 60 grand shit for Malott worth it, dude.
I mean, it's really
it's
not,
crazy,
to be
dude.
honest.
It's crazy now, D-Rose. It's almost like the basketball shoes outside of the court has came back around now. Like I see a whole bunch of kids wearing like fucking Puma Mellow balls around, and I'm like, dude, like I see them wearing like the fucking I like the Ja Morant's out now, and I'm like, dude, when I was in the Navy, dog, like I think the first off court shoe aside from like fucking Jordans that I used to really like was like the LeBrons and the fucking KDs, dog. And it's like that was a good time period for shoes, and now it's like coming back around where they're wearing all these NBA shoes off the court again for style. I know D-Rose don't care one single bit.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I'll wear a pair of Skechers and shit,
Yeah.
I'll call it, or a pair of Adidas, and I'll call it a day. So that used to be my bag, trying to get into the sneaker collection, but it's an expensive habit.
Yeah, D-Rose. Yeah, Antoine, dude. Yeah, if D-Rose known me a long time, I think I was always so poor that whenever I, if I can finally get some money, I fucking started getting the cool shit that I wanted. Do you know them? Do you have a favorite Jordan number? I do, Antoine. It's crazy as it sounds. My first ever Jordan was the Jordan 14, the black and green one, black leather, lime green, and my dad got those for me when I was playing rec ball, probably like 4th, 5th grade. Nah, I had earlier than that, probably like 2nd or 3rd grade, probably. The Jordan 14. I forgot what the actual name of it was, but they're all black, lime green touches. So that one holds a special place in my heart. But my favorite Jordan, just to wear, I think I've had the most ones. I like ones. Ones are cool. 4s are cool. I don't really like 5s. I like the Raptor 7s. Those are cool. Those were always one of my favorite ones. I don't like 8 at all. I used to wear 8s when I rode my motorcycle. I have a pair of the Phoenix Suns 8s, the purple and orange ones that I used to wear on my motorcycle. Yeah. I don't like 10s. Of course, everyone dies for the 11s and shit like that, but I was just a pair of 11s and fucking sold them because I wasn't going to get shot or robbed for them where I lived at. So, because fucking back where I used to live at, dog, you fucking walk down the you walk down the street with a pair of fucking nice shoes, you might not have them shits at the end of the street when you come out the other side. You saw where I live.
Yep. Yeah, some places you got to be careful. So that's why it's best to, again, for me, that's why I just stay low in the sneaker game. Just give me a good pair of no tie Adidas or Skechers, or maybe just a pair of slides, and I'm okay.
And then Dave, that's what I'm into now, man. I got a whole bunch of dunks. Probably not worth shit now, but at one point, I had a whole bunch of cool ones. But that's what I wear now is just dunks and just some dad shoes that I wear now. I don't really buy Jordans anymore. I got some. I just don't really wear. I don't even wear them anymore because I don't want to mess them up and everything, So anyway, let's get into our UFC fight announcements. Now we're done talking about shoes, D-Rose. What are you into, D-Rose? You're like taking care of my damn kids.
Yeah, and
like you're like a lot of people don't do that.
that is true. That is true. I'm into I'm into video games.
Yeah, there you go. Did you like the Legend Blue? Is that the all white ones with the light blue soul? I don't think so. I think the last 11 that I got was the Gammas back in like the first time they came out was like 2012 or 13. That's the first 11. That's the last 11 that I picked up, and then the low ones, the white and black with like the reverse tuxedo ones or something like that. I used to like those. But D-Rose seems like a Vans type of guy. I've seen fucking D-Rose in flip flops more than anything. D-Rose, what do you wear to work? Like dress shoes?
Literally, yeah. I wear like they're like Skechers loafers, basically. Yeah, they're no tie, but they're kind of like dressy type shoes. But
Oh yeah, I got
but
you.
yeah,
I got you. They're like the equivalent to like Gucci shoes, but like made by like Nunn Bush or some shit like that, right? Like they
yeah. Well,
kind of look
well,
like
mine are the ones I
sneakers.
got are Skechers.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
the one that
Okay.
I mean,
So
I had to really get a picture. I'm gonna send it to you. Like I said, they kind of look
oh,
like
just like
loafer shoes,
casual
kinda like
shoes type shit. Yeah, I got
yeah,
you.
they're kind of like a business casual type, I guess you could say.
I got you.
I would never wear those shoes
Oh,
outside of wearing like any dress pants or anything, but wearing
I
dress
got
pants, yeah,
you.
they work fine.
All right. Well, let's get into these fights, Theros. We got who is this? This I feel like his name's Osmont. Bezcat Almacan taking on Jean Maredo. What's your thoughts on that? Bezcat Almacan, pretty good fighter. Dropped Umar in their fight.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good fight. I mean, I don't know if I'm, you know, clearing out the schedule, making sure I'm there to watch it, but that should be a pretty solid fight.
It's in Baku, so hometown fight for Bezcat there. Antoine always wanted some Barclays, dude. I think my favorite like crazy shoe I would just wear all the time is the Shacknosis, dog. The Reebok Shacknosis. Good shoe. Good shoe. You got to not care if you wear that sucker, though. Anyway, C-Rod versus Hyder Emil. Looks like Hyder Emil going to win this one because he's not undefeated anymore. Anyway, what's your thoughts on this one, Dearest?
Yeah, well, then I think he's not considered a prospect anymore either. So that's a big thing. Is that if he's a prospect or he's undefeated, it's going to be a tough time for whoever his opponent is. But I really think C-Rod just at the end of the day he's just not a 145er. Just in terms of his size, but just I don't know if it's diet or whatever the case may be, but he just can't make it down to 135 consistently. I mean, but depending on what this line is, I mean, especially if C-Rod's a dog. I mean, I'm going to bet C-Rod, especially if he's a dog.
Yeah, I don't know if he will be there, D-Rose. Moving on, we got Tom Nolan taking on Faraz Ziem. That's a good fight, man. Vegas, June 16th in the Apex, man. I'm surprised they didn't try to put this in France or something.
I'm curious to see if this fight even happens because, I mean, to me, I feel like Faraz Ziem is, I mean, I'm not going to say he's like on a whole different level compared to Tom Nolan because, I mean, they're both relatively, I'm not going to say newer because Faraz Ziem has had a little bit more time in the UFC, but I think that's my thing. He's on a little bit more of a streak. He's kind of beating more well-known guys and then kind of backtracking to Tom Nolan just seems kind of weird. So I could see this fight not happening, weirdly enough. But I mean, if this fight was to happen, I would have to imagine that Ziem's going to be a pretty significant favorite, especially considering the experience level of both at the UFC at this point in their career. So
that's fair, man. That's fair. Moving on to the next one we have. We know that's happening with the Trump hair. They are approving it. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think D-Lou has a chance, man?
I mean, he's always got a puncher's chance, but I could just see Hokit just going in there and just going for a takedown immediately and getting it, and ultimately just frustrating Derek Lewis and wearing him out. So, I think even if Derek Lewis, he's obviously got the power, he can land, but if he doesn't land the power, it's just a tough matchup.
Yeah. Well, just now saw the score of the Philly Magic game. Close game. 6 points away, 5 minutes. Yeah, moving on to the next one. We have Max Payne Griffin taking on Victor Valencia. Looks like UFC newcomer. about that one at all?
Not really.
Oh. Antoine says Derek's way bigger than him. He is. He is. Also, I think he's in the best shape of his life. We'll see, man. We'll see. Not the easiest fight for old D-Lou. Here we go. Jim Miller taking on Jared Gordon at the Newark, New Jersey Prudential Center. I think this is a hometown fight for both guys, no? They both fight from that area. Or are from that area. I think Jared Gordon might be from Philly. Jim Miller might be from Jersey, and they are fighting in Jersey, dog. So expect to be a lot of support for both guys, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is a retirement fight for both guys.
Yeah, a lot of Northeasterners to be in that area, but no, I think that's a well-matched fight, and I feel like we haven't seen Jim Miller in a while, so to see him back, I'm sure he probably wants to try to, stat pad a little bit as far as having the most fights in UFC history. And he can continue to do that. And I think it's a well-matched fight. So I think that'll be a good fight with him, Gordon.
Dog, Jim Miller's 10 years older than us. And he's still fighting.
Still doing it.
I couldn't imagine trying to get up and train for a fight now. Yeah, right? Like, holy smokes. Dave says Jim closer to New. Indeed, he is. And also wrestled at Virginia Tech back in the day, D-Rose. Crazy enough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Here we go. We got Angie Hill taking on UFC newcomer Zhang Jingyang. So this is going to be in China. This is the one championship. What is it? Flyweight champion over there? I don't know what it is. The 115-pound champion there. So in my opinion, Angie Hill will be the bigger girl here because one with the weight cutting thing, if they're fighting a 115 dog, this is probably a real small girl. So Angie Hill is probably gonna have a size advantage over her, yeah.
Because they had that hydration clause or whatever, so they probably fought it. So they would always say, so like Demetrius Johnson fought at flyweight. That is that's a very good point.
Sure he has.
Yeah, no, that's very valid. But no, I think for Angela Hill, tough fight against a newcomer, but I do think I am with you. I think she'll probably be the bigger chick as well, but it should be a decent fight.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next one here. We have I don't care. That's this weekend. Here we go. Jeremiah Wells taking on Nicholas Dynamite Dalby. Man, it's a good fight for Nick Dalby. I don't care what anyone says. What's your thoughts there?
I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good fight. Because Dalby typically gets the prospects, but Jeremiah Wells not that at this point, but still a tough fighter and very strong. And we know how Nicholas Dalby is. All the cardio and the heavy breathing, man. It's gonna get Jeremiah Wells some problems if Jeremiah Wells can't get the finish early. So it should be a well matched fight.
Yeah, man. I like how they're on the same age. Yeah, that's for Jared and Jim Miller. Move on to the next one. We got Ryan Spann taking on Marcus Boucher. Oh, this fight makes me want to poop. When was this posted? A week ago? Yeah, probably. Yeah, last week.
I think we talked about it. Yeah, I just remember talking about that one specifically. Because I think I remember saying something about like how I would favor Ryan Spann against a lot of guys at heavyweight just because they're not as skilled as light heavyweight. And Buchecha, I'm not picking that dude at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, it's time to move into the fights for this weekend. UFC Canada. So I'll share this other stream.
UFC
I got a headache now. Fucking that shit. My tummy's all upset, dog. I feel like I gotta poop.
Took you out.
Oh, Anyway,
Now your stomach's on fire.
We'll get through this. We'll get through this. We'll get through it.
Now it's
Might just shit
irritated.
my pants,
Like,
but it's okay. Right. All right. Let's get into the fights for this weekend. UFC Winnipeg. That's what it is. UFC Winnipeg. Manitoba. I can't read, dog. Anyway, its fights this weekend are taking place at 5 p.m. East Coast time. We have 13 fights to go over. Once again, taking place in the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Main event this weekend is Gilbert Dorino Burns taking on Proper Mike Malott. Co-main event is the Matrix Kyler Phillips taking on Charles Ayer Jourdain. We got Mandel Rat Garbage Nalo taking on Jai Black Country Banger Herbert. We've got Jasmine Jazz Devicius taking on Killer Karina Silva. We've got Thiago Moises taking on Gage Young. I don't know what his fight name is. We got Dennis Bazooka taking on Mauricio Barboza. We got Robert Valentine taking on Julian LeBlanc. We have Tanner Bulldozer Bozer taking on Gohan Sarakam. We have Melissa Scare Roden taking on Dyra Zelezniakova. We have JJ Aldrich taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. We have Mitch Raposo taking on Alan Cementa. The Sexy Mexi, John Castaneda, taking on Mark Blogden. And opening of the night is Jamie Siraj taking on Jean Giannis. And so fights that fell off of this card were Dong Hun Choi taking on Andre Lima and Du Ho Choi taking on Gavin Tucker. So two Koreans seem to have fell off of this Canada card. What is my computer doing, dog? There we go. So thoughts on the card as a whole, D-Rose, before we start breaking them down?
It's a pretty solid card. I mean, it's obviously, they're feeding to Canada, so I'm obviously going to expect them to put more Canadians on the card. And as well, coming off the card last week, it was such a fun card. In the last couple of weeks, the UFC's been on fire, so I'm not going to expect this week to deliver like last week. But hey, I get off work early this Saturday. If I can manage my way to slide on out of work early and make it home to watch the fights, I'll definitely make my way to it. I mean, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it a C+. I think I can say that. It's not the biggest barn burner in the world because again, there are a lot of people making their debuts. But I do think as well, there's a couple good fighters. Charles Jourdain, I'm a big fan of him. Of course, Gilbert Burns and a couple guys like that. I think it should be a fun fight night overall.
Yeah. Antoine, got any family north of the border? I do not. Antoine, at least not that. No. What about you, dear? What's going on?
Not unless, like you said, unless there's some family out there that's hiding that have not claimed me yet, which I don't blame them if they don't. I do not have anybody outside of this region here.
All right. The fights for this upcoming weekend, D-Rose. First fight of the night, we've got the Gremlin, Jamie Siraj, taking on the Juice, Jean Giannis. Jamie Siraj is 14-3 overall out of his last 5 fights, 4 wins, 3 losses, none of which have been inside the UFC. Of course, this is his debut. He's 31 years old, 5'8". We don't know a reach, but he trains out of TriStar, which we know is a decent gym. On the other hand, the Juice, Jean Giannis, has fought 1 time in the UFC, lost to Austin. That bean, dog. Lost to Austin Bashi via rear naked choke. That was 8 months ago. He's 31 years old, 5'7", and a 70-inch reach. D-Rose, I've done a little bit of research on this fight so far. From what I have gathered, Jamie Siraj is basically defenseless on the feet. Like, who's someone that has is basically AJ Cunningham on the feet. AJ Cunningham on the feet. Maybe Killer Miller on the feet. Dog, it's bad. It's bad. He has nothing on the feet, man. On the other hand, John Giannis, dude, he gets taken down so easy in every single fight. It's just like if he had any takedown defense, I would pick John Giannis to knock out Jamie Siraj. But Jamie Siraj, dude, his specialty is finding the back and getting that rear naked choke. There we go. Gustavo Eric and Donnie Matos. I forgot which one of these it was, dude. He was getting like he pulls guard, dude. That's the thing. So even if he has no fucking wrestling at all, what he'll do is he'll go in here, he'll butt scoot, he'll pull guard, he'll end up on bottom, he'll get elbowed to fuck, and then somehow he'll find the guy's back and find a rear naked choke. And as crazy as it sounds, that's probably what happens this week, dog. I'm big Jamie Siraj to go in here, pull guard, end up on bottom, get beat up for just a moment until he finds some sort of submission over John Giannis. So for me, give me Jamie Siraj. Give me round 2 submission here after getting beat up a little bit. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, for me, I think Austin Bashi, got the win, against John Giannis in the last fight by rear naked choke. And, as you said, just based on from what I've been able to see, Siraj is, he's got decent like striking. I haven't seen much of his striking defense, so I'll rely on you for that. But I know that he can strike a little, but he's looking to really, get the fight down to the ground and where he can control it the most. And I do think that he eventually gets that. I'm going to go with also rear naked choke. I'm going to go with round 2 submission for Jamie Siraj.
All right, moving on to the next one. We have John Castaneda, the Sexy Mexi, taking on Mark Vologden. So, Sexy Mexi John Castaneda is 21-8 overall out of his last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. He is 34 years old, 5'6" and a 71-inch reach. While on the other hand, Mark Vologden is 12-4-1 overall. Lost his last fight on the Contender Series, got signed anyway. 26 years old, 5'3", small guy for 135 at that, and 65-inch reach. D-Rose, tough fight for me to call here because I know John Castaneda is a decent fighter. He's good. Got good kicks, good ring work, if you will. Controls the majority of the time. Trains, I believe, it says the Academy, Minnesota, but he fights a lot like, Jonathan Martinez and all of those guys with a little bit more grappling, if you will. So all-around skilled fighter, but won't really wow you at any point. Mark Vologden, on the other hand, he got signed off of a loss and probably the best Contender Series fight ever, where he just went in there and if his – I'm just going to say it. If his dick is the size of his body, he don't have the biggest one, but he's going to have it out ready to swing. I don't know how much he's going to be able to swing it, but he's going to be swinging that thing, dog. Yeah, this should be a fun fight, dog. Give me Mark Vologden to do more damage over 3 rounds and win this fight via decision, D-Rose. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I think, this could potentially be a fun fight.
He just had like 4 points 5 minutes ago, Dave. What the fuck is happening? Oh, he is. He's close now. Oh, there's only 40 seconds left, though. This game's over, Dave. 97-108. That's over, Dave. Makes me want to cry.
But no, I think for Vologden, super fun fighter. A Contender Series fight was the best Contender Series fight that I've ever seen. And if you have not seen that fight, you need to do yourself a favor and go back and watch it. Dude, it's just an all-out war from both dudes who just did not want to quit. And Mark Vologden, even though he lost, it's why he earned a UFC contract, because both guys really went out there and put it all out there. And it was a super fun fight. I think Castaneda, he's pretty well rounded. He's got he is looking to get the fight down to the ground because his wrestling is his best trait, but he can also throw hands as well. And he's a little bit experienced in the UFC at this point. He's got a little bit of experience and some time in the UFC. And
which kind of answers your question, Antoine. Here, I like John Castaneda's tape better just because I've seen him inside the UFC.
Yeah, that's kind of kind of what worries me a little bit is that I haven't really seen Bologna's takedown defense like that, because if Castaneda can get top control, what is he able to do from there? But I do think that, I think Castaneda can get hit and hurt at times. And, kind of, slick strikers he has tend to have had problems with. So I think I'm going to pick Bologna. I'm going to pick him by, let's go first round knockout. Mark Bologna.
I thought you were gonna fucking go the other way there. I was getting the old pick champ fucking note section pulled up. You picked the same one, man.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I want to pick him, but at the end of the day, when I go back and look at Castaneda's matchups, whenever he's gone up against any sort of like sophisticated striker, Chris Gutierrez, Daniel Marcos, Daniel Santos, he's kind of ended up having trouble with those guys and guys who are really trying to initiate the grappling. He tend to have more success with, and I think Bologna is going to want to keep it on the feet and, really kind of put it on Castaneda.
That's fair. All right. Moving on to the next Mitroposo, Alan Nascimento. Mitroposo, 10-3 overall, 27 years old, 5'5", 64.5-inch reach. Of his last 5 fights, won 3, lost 2, one against Azat Maxim, lost against Sumi Darji, lost against Andre Lima, and then 2 before the UFC. On the other hand, Alan Nascimento, Puro Oso, 22-6 overall, won 5 months ago against Cody Durden. Before that, we didn't see him for a little, or I guess we saw him 10 months. It was this one, but before this one, where the Carlos Hernandez, we didn't see him for 3 years before that, and then lost to Gerlin Beckhoff 4 years ago. He's 34 years old, 5'8", and a 69-inch reach. He's going to be the bigger guy, more reach. The jiu-jitsu will be on the side of Alan Nascimento. And usually, I will say, wrestling wins over jiu-jitsu. But D-Rose, if there is a, you know me, how do I feel about Cage Warriors guys? I just feel like it's like
You love them. They're some of your favorite fighters.
It's just something about them, dog. Like, I will not pick a Cage Warriors guy, or there for a while, I would not pick a Cage Warriors guy until I saw them win a few times. I'm not going to say I feel exactly the same about it, but for me, if you're coming out of this CFFC regional scene of the Northeast, the D-Rose, these guys have tended to not be good, dude. And that's where Mitroposo comes from Falls River, Massachusetts, fighting up in Dave's neck of the woods, or used to be Dave's neck of the woods. Dave, be a heavyweight and go fight up in the like the Northeast there, dude. I guarantee you'll get you a few wins. So just because mostly a fade on Mitroposo, D-Rose, I'm gonna go Alan Nascimento to let's go choke out Mitroposo in round number 2. He choked out Cody Durden, right? Anaconda choked out Cody Durden. He can choke out Mitroposo. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, but Cody Durden is also Cody Durden at the end of the day. And
I think he's a better grappler than Mitroposo is, though.
Tomato. I don't know if there's much of a difference with the two. I just think that
Dave said you beat Josh Hogan off the couch. I would, Dave.
The arms with the most charm. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Alan Nascimento is going to be the bigger dude. He's going to be, I think he's got a little bit more UFC experience at this point as well. But I do think that, Mitroposo does. He has some skill, man. And, he went to a split decision in his first 2 UFC fights, and, kind of tough for him, I think. Or he got the decision against Maxim in his last fight, but he can kind of keep the fight close, in his range, but he does ultimately end up losing the position. But I think Nascimento is a little more content with going down to the ground, where he's fought a couple of jiu-jitsu guys like a Jafel Fio and guys like that who are content with him having top position. A guy like TGO Beckhoff, who's a good top position wrestler, was able to hold Nascimento down. And I think Mitroposo can do that. So give me Mitroposo here. I'm going to pick the dog. He burned me last time when I picked him against Sumadarji. I was pretty upset. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I'm picking him again right now, but
There you go.
going to I'm not the biggest believer in not
D Rose loves these fucking CFFC guys, as where I am real hesitant on the fucking D Rose. Like, oh man. Give me Andre Petrovsky, Mitch Raposo, Sean Brady, Joe Pifers.
They're going to kill me.
Here we go. Antoine wants to know, do you think Josh Hoke is the best athlete at heavyweight, like more than Gone? For performance, yes. The way he looks, no. But, I mean, you know, we see who performs better. Well, what about you, Darius? Is there a better athlete at heavyweight?
He's got the best.
Maybe Tom. Maybe Tom. That's the only person I think might be a better athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Tom and
he was a D1 All-American and played in the NFL. Didn't just have a cup of coffee there. Played in the NFL, dog, for a little bit. So it's like he's a good athlete, man. So anyway, even though I see the heavyweight limit right now, I ain't no heavyweight limit. Not for you, man. Anyway, moving on to the next one. We got JJ Aldridge taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. And guess where she's from, D-Rose? She's from Squamish. Squamish, British Columbia. Stand up. Anyway, JJ Aldridge, the forehead of doom, is 14-7 overall. She's 33 years old, 5'5" and a 67-inch reach. While Squamish, British Columbia's own Jamie Lynn Horth is 9-2 overall out of her last 5 fights, 3 wins, 2 losses. Lost to Veronica Hardy and to Miranda Maverick. Win over Ivana Petrovic, Vanessa Demopoulos, and Teresa Bleda. She's 36 years old, 5'7" and a 66-inch reach. Give me Canada's own Squamish, British Columbia here, D-Rose, to win the fight via split decision. JJ Aldridge is tough, but I think the fans and the Canada is going to come through. I'll probably have a Canada parlay, including Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm going to lose all my money on D-Rose. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This one, for some reason, this fight kind of worries me a little bit because I feel like this should be a pretty easy. I don't want to say easy win, but a manageable win for Jamie Lynn Horth. But I also do see that that JJ Aldridge has stuff in her game that could potentially give. Jamie Lynn Horth some problems, especially with the wrestling and the control. And, Jamie Lynn Horth can be controlled from time to time, like Miranda Maverick did. And, you know what? I'm going to take another shot on the dog. I'm going back to back. Give me JJ Aldridge here to get it done. I think she uses her wrestling to control the fight. Some clinch control as well. It might not be the prettiest fight, but I think it'll be effective. Give me JJ Aldridge by decision.
All right, moving on to the next one. Second one we already split on. We have Melissa Scarecrowden taking on the Iron Lady, Daira Zalesniakova. D-Rose, if you looked at Daira Zalesniakova's Instagram, you would not know she's a fighter, dog.
Well, and Dave probably has the OnlyFans link, I'm sure.
I don't know if she got one, dog. How you spell this?
I mean, if you just look at a Tapology picture, I would, say the same. That I wouldn't assume that she was a fighter.
Yeah, dog. But it's like I saw it the other day, and it's like you look at it, and she might have like 1 or 2 training pictures. Oh, and it's like she's like a model, man. For me, I like Melissa Crowden's power, dude. She's got a thump. She did lose the last one against Luana Santos, so I did get burned there, but she's still relatively new to the UFC. This should be a good striking fight. Could end up being pretty boring. Daira is kind of more of a counter striker, as where Melissa Crowden's got more power on her, if I was to guess here. Melissa Crowden, 7-3 overall, 35 years old, 5'9", 68-inch reach, while Daira is 10-2 overall, 30 years old, 5'9", and 68-inch reach. Man, could be a close fight. I'm going to lean Melissa Croden, just maybe busting up Daira a little bit more. Maybe Daira taking a little bit more damage, and in the fight, the judges just seeing the damage and, scoring it how they should. Melissa Croden via decision. What's your thoughts here?
This fight, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's going to be the most exciting from either side, but I do think as you said, Daria, you would definitely not think that she was a a fighter just based on her pictures alone, but not gonna lie, I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm trying to make myself pull the trigger on either one. Am I going to do it again? I think I'm going to do it again. I don't even know why. Give me the dog again and Zalesniakova. I think Melissa Croden can be. Man. Yeah, give me Zalesniakova. I'm not even super confident in it, but
you shouldn't be. It's Canada card.
Melissa Croden. Yeah, I'm not the most confident in Melissa Croden.
It's all right, man. D-Rose is gonna feel the Reaper next week. So Dave.
We ain't here, Dave.
Moving on to the next one. We got the bulldozer, Tanner Boser, taking on Gohan Saracam. Tanner Boser, 22, 10, and 1 overall out of his last 5 fights. He fought one time outside the UFC, D-Rose, and they signed him back. 2 losses against Rodrigo Nascimento, split decision, and Iwan Kutalaba. 34 years old, 6'2" and a 75-inch reach. It's going to be a heavyweight. Yeah, it's going to be a heavyweight, D-Rose. I don't know anything about Gohan Saracam, but I like Tanner Bulldozer Boser. So give me Tanner Bulldozer Boser to win this fight via decision in his home country of Canada. I don't know shit about Gohan Saracam, though. You going with the favorite here?
Of course, all the ones. And again, I'm with you because I don't really know much about Gohan Saracam here, but I just remember when when Tanner Boser was in the UFC last time, I felt like what kind of burdened him was him just not really being able to pull the trigger much, and he was getting clipped a little bit in some of those fights, and he ended up having the finish loss to Kutalaba, and he after he dropped down to 205 and just really didn't seem to offer too much. So I just want to see where he's at headspace wise, but I'm actually gonna go with the Canadian guy this time. Give me Tanner Boser here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, give me Tanner Boser here. I'm going to take Boser I'm going to take him by decision. I think Tanner Boser gets it done. A home crowd kind of juices him up, return to the UFC, and he's got the experience advantage on his side as well.
All right. Me and D-Rose both on Tanner Boser. Found it, D-Rose. What's your thoughts?
Yeah.
Could you tell she was a fighter on here, man?
Yeah, no, you would not be able to tell, and I actually I had peeped it before you had pulled that up. So
yeah, not really much. No training footage at all. Lots of just like model photos.
Yeah, I mean a couple like a fight announcements, weight cuts, stuff like that. Yeah, she's had a few things there. So,
but no, I mean you go look at like fucking Norma Dumont's fucking Instagram. Every single thing is her fucking training. And it's like, I don't even see anything. There's no training footage at all. There's like a picture of her in gloves, but no training footage, So, yeah, anyway. Where were we? We were
moving
up. Oh, man, I closed it.
Should be Valentine and Julian LeBlanc,
yeah.
Whatever.
Accidentally closed it. Dude, stomach is fucked off right now. I'm about to go, dude. This toilet's about to be mad at me after we're over. Anyway, moving on to the next one.
I might not be able to make
We
it through this.
have Robert Valentine taking on Julian LeBlanc. Robert Valentine lost his last three after coming off of the Ultimate Fighter. Lost to Ryan Loder, lost to Torres Finney, lost to Tiba Gaudier. He's 31 years old, 6'2", 77-inch reach. Wow. Julian LeBlanc, and 2 overall, 34 years old, 6'2". Yeah, this is one where I haven't looked into Julian LeBlanc at all, but I like Robert Valentine. He hasn't won a fight inside the UFC, but I know he's vicious. I know he's ruthless. Give me Robert Valentine to win this fight via round 1 knockout. D-Rose, which way you going here?
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
guy's
for me,
winning
I
via
just
rear naked choke. Okay.
yeah, I think LeBlanc, just seeing a little bit of him, he is looking to, he can strike, but he is ultimately looking to get the fight down to the ground, and he uses strikes to kind of set up his grappling. But yeah, I think Valentine, he's hittable. He's he can get taken down. Torres Finney, had no problem taking him down whatsoever. Of course,
He didn't take him down.
Torres
He
Finney
held him
didn't
up
do
against the
anything.
cage.
Well, he took him down a couple of times too, but he just didn't do anything with it whatsoever. But
Yeah.
but I think for LeBlanc, I think he's got similar to the same ability, but he's a little bit more aggressive. I'm going to go Julian LeBlanc. Give me second round submission here. Valentine can get finished pretty easily, and LeBlanc has been pretty aggressive. So yeah, give me a sub.
All right, moving on to the next one. We got Dennis Bazooka taking on Mauricio Barbosa. Did he just fight? No. Dennis
Like you're thinking
Bazooka,
about
12 and
Le'Veon
5.
Douglas.
No, there's a Barbosa a few weeks ago. There's like 2 of them on the same card. There's like Barbosa and then like
Deone Barboza, wasn't it? And
no, it was something else. I don't remember. 2 dudes. Anyway, Dennis Bazooka, 12 and 5 overall. I thought they cut him from the UFC, to be honest. 28 years old, 5'9", coming out of that Northeast regional scene, training at the GOAT show with Dean Thomas and all them. Could be making some improvements. 17 and 2 on the other side. On the other side, Brazilian, 27 years old, 5'6", 70.5-inch reach. I don't know anything about this guy, D-Rose. I need to do more research. I'll probably pick this guy to win because I don't think Dennis Bazooka is good. How does this guy win? Punches? Oh, this guy's knocking out Dennis Bazooka.
yeah,
Let's
I was about to say,
go round 2 knockout.
And I'm only going off of the Contender Series fight. This dude has very heavy hands, and Dennis Bazooka, he just tends to have a problem with going in there and wanting to try to go in there and slug it out with dudes, and that's ultimately where he ends up getting caught up in a lot of his fights. And Barboza can crack, man, and just from his Contender Series fight, that's really all I needed to see. Give me a Marcio Barboza, and I'm gonna go round 1 KO.
Round 1 knockout. Fair enough. Moving on to the next one. We got Thiago Moises, Gage Young. Tough one for me to call. G Money. Gage Young, 10 and 3. Thiago Moises, 19 and 9. Thiago Moises got a lot of experience alternating wins and losses, but so is Gage Young, D-Rose. So Gage Young won his last one. He's up for a loss. Thiago Moises lost his last one. He's up for a win. 31 years old, 5'9", 70-inch reach. Gage Young, 25, 5'9", 70-inch reach as well. Size up about the same. Tough one for me to call, man. What throws me off is I feel like Thiago Moises is 31 seems light for him, dog. I feel like he's been in the UFC a long time. Like he should be like 34, 35 at this point. But yeah, man, this is going to be a big step up in competition for Young. Which way are you going here, man?
Well, for me, just a little bit of your analysis, I do kind of agree with you, and I do think that, Thiago Moises, he's pretty well rounded, man. He's obviously got the great, submission ability. Jiu-jitsu's nasty. He's got pretty good wrestling, and he can slug it out as well when he wants to. So I do think that, he's got well-rounded ability. Gage Young, fast, young, quick. Pretty decent striker himself. Not the best wrestler, but he can wrestle pretty well from time to time. But he can get taken down. Go back to that Quinlan Salkill fight in the Contender Series, and Quinlan Salkill was using a lot of his wrestling to take him down. And Thiago Moises, he can use his wrestling from time to time. He got clipped in his last fight by Jared Gordon, but before that he was looking good in that fight.
Fuck, dog. I was leaning more this until you pointed that out that he got smoked by Jared Gordon in his last fight. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good look.
That makes me a little hesitant, but I think as long as he doesn't get clipped, I think Thiago Moises gets the job done here. I think he uses his wrestling. Give me Moises by decision to get it done.
Yeah, this is either Moises decision or Gage Young knockout, huh? One of the two.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough. I think I'm gonna go the other way, Drew. I think I'm gonna go Gage Young knockout. Gage Young knockout too. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be in the Pig Champ or not, but yeah,
it'd be fun if you did.
You think so? Close fight. Fun. Close fight. Up next, we got Jasmine Jasudavicius taking on Killer Karina Silva. Jasmine Jasudavicius 14-4 overall. Been on a roll. Dare I say she is leading the charge of Canadian MMA? I know people are Mike Malott fans, but dog, you can't tell me the biggest chance that Canada has for a title isn't Jasmine Jasudavicius at this point.
Yeah. I mean, in Jazz too, she's been a lot more active. She's had a lot more higher end success, and she's been getting after it, dude. So yeah, I think that's a very legit statement to make.
Yeah. Tough fight though, man. Killer Karina is good. She lost her last fight over Macy Barber and really threw me off, man, because I just thought Karina was going to be able to outmuscle her, man. I just thought she was going to be the more jacked physical girl, and fucking Macy went in there and just fucking beat her up, man. Jasmine, 37 years old, 5'7", 68-inch reach. Karina Silva, 32, 5'5", 67-inch reach. I think if I wouldn't have seen the Macy Barber fight, D-Rose, I would have picked Karina Silva to win this fight because she was just running through girls, right? Like, out Marina Moroz, beat Ariane Lipsky, lost the like the Vivian Araujo, which is doing pretty well in PFL now. Might I add that? And then beat Deanna Barbosa, which was a good win too, because Deanna's good. I was high on her then, and then she loses to Macy, man. So after she lost to Macy, I think I got to lean Jazz. Probably go Jazz. A decision, man. What's your thoughts here?
I know you're not the biggest Macy fan, but I don't necessarily think just because she lost to Macy that Karina Silva that it's a
I
bad
just thought
loss,
she was going to be able to outmuscle her though, and she did.
Yeah, and Macy kind of muscled her around a little bit in some of those positions, which I was genuinely surprised about as well, because I thought that Macy was going to have to keep distance, and seeing her get top control in some of those positions on Karina Silva and be able to get off ground and pound the way she did. If Macy Barber was able to do that to you, and Macy Barber can wrestle and she's aggressive, but if she can do that, I'm going to have no doubt in my mind that Jasmine Jasudavicius is going to be able to do that.
A bigger
especially
girl,
coming off a bigger girl. To me, the better wrestler between the two, and for me as well, I think that Jazz coming off of that Fioreau loss, I think she's going to be a little bit more fired up and a little bit more locked in. I'm going to go Jasudavicius. I think we're going to see another crazy submission. Let's go round 2. I'm going to go rear naked choke for Jasmine Jasudavicius.
Fair enough, man. Moving on up to the next one, we got Rat Garbage, Mandel taking on the Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert. Mandel 14-3 overall. We saw him on the Contender Series, knock out Samuel Silva. 36 years old, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. A little bit older now, training out of TriStar. Black Country Banger, Jai Herbert, also old though, so let's not act like he's fighting a young contender. 37 years old, 6'1", and a 77-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, give me Rat Garbage here to win this fight via knock. I think Jai Herbert's kind of chinny, dude. Likes to fucking go in there and throw. And I think after his last fight, dude, he said he was getting to that. He did kind of throw with Chris Padilla there, and it was kind of a fun fight. But Mandel Nalo, UFC debut at home in Canada. Let's go round 2 knockout. always round 2 knockout. Mandel Nalo over Jai Herbert. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, and for me, I think Mandel Nalo, he even said coming off of the
Rat
contender
garbage.
series, like he said,
Why does it
man,
not say this has mango
says
here?
mango.
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened to rat garbage, dog? I like
Yeah, rat garbage does need to be the name, but mango's a funny name. Rat garbage is that's one that sticks. But he even came off the contender series and said that, hey, just because I'm 36, 37, coming off the show does not mean I'm not ready for the top guys. And he really wants to smoke, and I love the attitude, and honestly, I love the style matchup too, because I don't think Jai Herbert's going to be able to go in there and really out wrestle him. I think he's going to be able to go in there and he's going to use his footwork and his distance to use his striking as well. But I think Nalo's got power, and as you said, Jai Herbert can get clipped from time to time, as we've seen. And I think Nalo's going to go out here and make a statement in front of his home crowd. Give me Mandel Nalo. I'm going round 1 knockout for our Mandel Nalo.
All right, fair enough. Moving on to the next one. Co-main event time. We got Kyler, the Matrix Phillips, taking on Charles Air Jourdain. Kyler Phillips is 12-4 overall, 2 losses in a row over Vinicius Oliveira and Rob Font. Win over Pedro Munoz, win over Jaime Barcelos, win over Marcelo Rojo 4 years ago. Kyler Phillips not active at all. 30 years old, 5'8", 72-inch reach. Charles Air Jourdain, 17-8-1 overall, 30 years old, 5'9", 69-inch reach. Yeah, man, this is, I don't want to say this belongs at the co-main event spot, but this will be fun, right? Kyler Phillips is going to win round 1. I think we can agree on that. He tends to slow down a little bit, when round 2 comes. And dude, Charles has gas for 3, man. Do you remember him screaming? Who did he fucking scream at in that fucking Spartan kick at the end of the fight? Was it
Under you?
Yeah, something like that. So we know he's got gas to go all 3. D-Rose, I want to make a call here. I think Charles Jourdain will last the first round, starts to tire out Kyler Phillips round 2, and then round 3, we get a guillotine from Charles Air Jourdain. Yeah. Round 3, guillotine, Charles Air Jourdain. I think I saw him on Instagram talking about it, how he has tied for the most guillotines or something like that, and he wants to be number 1. So I think he's going to be going for it.
He has a nasty guillotine, so I would not be surprised if
choking the pants off fools.
Yeah, no, exactly. Your favorite, one of your favorite clips. So, but yeah, and honestly, him coming off that win against Davy Grant too, the way he did Davy Grant, and I love Charles Jourdain, but how I acknowledge how tough Davy Grant is, and he blasted him with the flying knee, then really beat him down. Ref didn't stop it, so he ended up locking in the guillotine and snatching in with the quick.
Dude, his last 3 wins are all guillotines.
Yeah,
Ricardo Harsh guillotine, Peter Henry guillotine, Davy Graham guillotine.
Yeah, I will say I do think that Kyler Phillips, he's super tough and has good submission defense for the most part. Now, I will say that honestly, if he was a bit more active, I would actually probably pick Kyler Phillips in this matchup, because the type of footwork that he uses are the types of ones that can give Charles Jourdain problems from time to time, because sometimes he can't necessarily cut off the cage. But I just don't know how Kyler Phillips is going to look after a little bit of time off. And, I think both guys are super athletic. You might see
he also, I think the reason the time off, maybe he got popped for something, D-Rose? Maybe like a 6-month suspension? That may have been. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, if you go back to all of his fights, it's kind of been like that, 6-7 months in between, or some of them even, a year or 2 in between. So it just kind of seems like that's been, the MO for his career. I don't know if it's been injuries or what, but yeah, give me Charles Jourdain here to get it done. I think it's by decision, but I think it ended up being a pretty fun fight.
All right. I do like Charles Jourdain's brother. He's a fun fighter. And do I think Charles climbs to a top ranking? I mean, he's still 30. It's possible. Do y'all consider Kyler a bust given his potential at first? I think so, man. I think we saw once he runs out of gas, that's all I need to see, man. I don't know if you can fix that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
All right, moving on. Main event time. We got proper Mike Malott taking on Gilbert Durinho Burns. Gilbert Durinho Burns 22-9 overall. Lost 4 of his last 5. Lost against Bilal, lost against JDM, lost against Sean Brady, and lost against Michael Morales. He does have a win there 3 years ago over Jorge Masvidal via decision. He's 39 years old, 5'10", 71-inch reach. What did Gilbert Burns do to UFC, man? I feel like he takes all the fights, and it's like, y'all are not giving him any favors at this point, man. Mike Malott, 13-2-1 overall, minus 600 favorite currently, according to Tapology. 34 years old, 6'1", 73-inch reach. I think Mike Malott wins the Rose. It's probably via decision, though. I don't think he makes it look like Michael Morales or anything like that. I honestly think fucking Gilbert Burns has some moments in the fight, maybe even wins a round. But I think at the end of the day, the cheers from the Canada crowd, just the cleanliness of proper Mike Malott, leg kicks here and there, maybe stuffing a takedown. Yeah, Mike Malott via decision for me. How about you, man? Dave says, "What a dookie main event."
Yeah, for me, I mean, yeah, you are right. It is a guy by main event, and I think they're just trying to get Malott over, and I get it, but yeah, you could have done a lot better. And honestly, if you had done Jazz Division,
this is Canada. This is life of UFC knows it's like this is their only like 2 guys. They got Mike Malott and fucking Jazz. That's their only. Who else does Canada have that they can even get behind? You know, so
rat garbage.
I get it, Antoine.
But yeah, for me, Burns has not shown any punch resistance whatsoever his last few fights, and I know Michael Morales is clearly a much different dude.
Big
but
guy.
Yeah, just seeing Sean Brady really dominated Gilbert Burns for the most part in that fight, and then Michael Morales was able to just the first couple of punches he landed, Burns just kind of almost just shelled up, and I'm not gonna say gave up, but he kind of just shelled up and was willing to accept defeat at that point. And I do think Mike Malott, although he's obviously not as big and as powerful as Michael Morales, I do think his boxing is a lot cleaner. And Burns can get hit, and once he does get to that point, he can kind of shell up, and it's see you next time. So I think Mike Malott gets it done here. I think he lands a big shot in the second and gets Gilbert Burns out of there, man. So give me round 2 KO for Mike Malott. Mike Malott.
Oh. All right,
Mike Malott. I like him to win by Malott.
Okay, that's fair. That being said, Deros, we have 5 different picks on the card. So we'll move to our last section of the show, the pick champ, man. Our different picks on today's show were Alan Nascimento, Mitch Raposa, Jamie Lynn Horth, JJ Aldridge, Melissa Croden, Myra Zelezniakova, Robert Valentine, LeBlanc, and Gage Young, Thiago Moises. I don't feel good about any of them.
It's a tough card this weekend, man. It really is. It's a tough card.
Yeah. So I got to pick 3 of these in hopes of winning the pick champ.
Decisions.
I'm going to go the first 2. Go Nascimento, Traposa. Going to go Jamie Lynn Horth, JJ Aldrich. And then, oh, man. I want to go Croden, but I'm scared of that one. I want to pick Robert Valentine, but you know what? Nah. Rob Valentine's coming through this week, D-Rose. Robert Valentine over Sean LeBlanc. That's number 3. The backup will be Croden versus Zeleznikova. You like it?
Do it.
I feel. So the only one not added, well, up to the backup will be Gage Young, Thiago Moises. But the fights that matter this weekend: Alan Nascimento, Mitch Raposo, Jamie Lynn Horth, JJ Aldridge, and Robert Valentine, John LeBlanc, in which I have Alan Nascimento, JJ Aldridge, and Robert Valentine. D-Rose has Mitch Raposo, JJ Aldridge, and Jean LeBlanc. Back up Croden, Zalesniakova. Watch, I have Croden. D-Rose got Zalesniakova. Yeah. You got it, D-Rose?
I like it.
All right.
I like it, Malott.
Nascimento Raposo, Horth, Aldrich, and Valentine LeBlanc. So when you have to go back, you know which ones it is. Because we know D-Rose is going to go back.
Yep. I will have to go back to the podcast at the 2 hour and 8 minute mark to make sure I got the right ones.
Yeah, Antoine says, "Oh, Matt wins." That being was so brutal. Like D-Rose didn't do it last week. He just forget about you. Did
Literally did the same exact one. And I've warned him about how hot it was. Guys, hey, dude, this mean.
They just feel bad for me. They just feel bad for me, like D-Rose. I didn't get your answer, D-Rose. Did you okay Conkers back then? What's that, D-Rose?
Play
Conkers?
Is that what he means? It's a play Conkers?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can clarify
Play.
for me, maybe.
Play. What's Conkers? I've never heard of Conkers.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Unless I can, let me look it up real quick.
Conker's Bad Fur Day in 64.
On the N60, why am I not?
Dude, I remember my N64. It was green see-through when it came with the yellow Donkey Kong.
Oh, so I remember that game, but I didn't actually play it. I know what it is, though.
What about Zelda? I didn't do Zelda.
I played a Zelda, but I wasn't big on Zelda. But really, a lot of the Mario games were kind of more up my alley. Super Smash Brothers, any of the wrestling games like WWE or WWF, No Mercy.
I used to play
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Or
See,
not
I
on
had
that.
Mortal Kombat on the Sega Saturn and the Sega Genesis. I didn't have it on the I didn't have it on the 64. The 64 is more like my Mario games. Mario Kart, Mario Golf, Mario Party, a lot of those.
Yeah. I think my real prime gaming happened around PlayStation 2 time frame, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it
Like
for a lot of us.
Twisted Metal.
For sure.
Twisted Metal and fucking WWE games and dude, I always loved fighting games. What was it, Def Jam Fight for New York with fucking Snoop Dogg on there?
Yep, and Def Jam Vendetta too. Don't forget the first one.
Yeah,
that was also a fire game.
Yeah, fun times, dude. Fun times. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for today's show. We appreciate you guys for stopping by here, hanging out with us here on this here Wednesday night. Truly appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up button for your boys, if you don't mind. Anton wants to know you played that. Yeah, indeed. D-Rose, I don't, man, I had a weird childhood, huh? Like, like we grew up in the same area, like, and it's like, I just think everyone was just poor. Like, like who were the poor kids, and then there was all the other kids were like fucking rich, and like that's what divided us. We like whether you shot that American Eagle or you didn't. Yep. And me and you did not shop at American Eagle, dog.
At all. Wasn't even thinking about going there. Not an Aeropostale,
no.
American Eagle, none of it.
Dude, nah. I didn't get to go in the mall. We appreciate you, Dave. What's your favorite video game? I had GTA on Game Boy Color. That's old. I definitely was great on GameCube. I don't think I ever had a GameCube, D-Rose. Blitz. Dude, Blitz the League was fun, dude. Blitz the League was fun when they used to just do the steroids.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I
you
played
end
the
up
shit
getting
out of
like
it.
shot up with a bunch of stuff after your bones get broken. You get like 3
Yeah.
compound fractures.
Yeah, you just have a broken bone. They just do some steroids and you get back in there. Give them the juice.
Like this injection.
Give them the juice. Dude, fun games. Fun games. All right, y'all. That's going to be it from us here today. D-Rose, before we get out of here, I want to leave you with a quote that I actually heard scrolling through Instagram. Maybe it was YouTube earlier. It was none other than Max Kellerman, dude. It was a statement. He said, no matter what your favorite sport is, I can tell you what it is. You might say it's football. You might say it's basketball. You might say it's soccer, whatever it is. I can tell every single one of you that your favorite sport is boxing or fighting. And that's from this one simple statement. You're walking down the street. You walk up to a crossroads. You have 4 corners on the crossroads. You got some kids playing basketball, some kids playing football, some kids playing soccer, and then you have a fight going on. Where do you think everyone's eyes are? Where do you think everyone's watching? Everyone's favorite sport at the end of the day is fighting, whether you want to, say it or not. It'll always be the most eyes happening live. So best sport in the world. Don't forget it. But at the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. So don't forget to not be betting more than you can afford to lose on these fights this weekend in Canada. With that being said, my name is Matthew Rose, and on that side of the screen, we hope you all have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.